Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of True 100% Plus. So yeah, as I said last episode, this episode is the rest of the stunt jumps, the other 35, or 34. Yeah, no, this was a lot harder than I thought. I mean, okay, I had like two bits of thought about this. I first thought it was going to be pretty simple, I'll do one episode of all the zero-star ones, and then I'll do this episode, and it's like, I split it half and half, it'll be easy, right? Take about the same amount of time. What I should have done probably was 3 episodes, so I probably should have done like San Fierro in this episode and then Las Venturas in the next or something, but never mind, it's happened now, it doesn't matter. So yeah, this took a lot of effort to record. And then once I was doing it, I realised, oh god, this might actually take a really long time. I'm not even sure I'll be done with this episode in time. But I was thinking I was going to get constantly killed by the police and stuff all the time, but I somehow managed to do it, get it done in time. It's really annoying because I'm editing this on the day again. I hate doing this. I want to flip and get ahead of these episodes, and I just can't do it. It's really annoying. But yeah, anyway, I managed to get it done, and it was a lot of fun. Now I know where all the stunt jumps are, and it was pretty cool. But the first thing I should say is that I should rate the very last stunt jump, because apparently I forgot to do it. And that was the stunt jump where you go from the Badlands into San Fierro, or Red County, I guess, into San Fierro, that big jump down the road, which was pretty cool. Also, I drove to the armor there, but I already picked some up. That was stupid. But yeah, that one was really awesome. You had to get up a lot of speed, and then it was a really massive jump. So I would give that like a 8 or 9 out of 10, something like that. You guys know I make all this rating stuff up on the spot, right? I don't even give it any thought. I'm just making some bullcrap up. Some people take it really seriously. It's like, no, I'm just making this up as I come along. Alright, so yeah, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with San Fierro stunt jumps and the Badlands ones. But yeah, here's the M4 ammo. Annoyingly, like I said, I forgot to pick it up last episode when I was here, but yeah, it's okay. I've got a little bit of it, so it's alright. I'll try and collect more and more of that, because it's probably the best ammo that you could have, but it's just really difficult to get. I guess I could collect minigun ammo as well, but I want a rocket launcher. Not that I've actually used the rocket launcher or satchels or anything like that at all yet. I need to make use of that at some point. Anyway, here's me being an idiot and taking off in the wrong direction. I keep wanting to take off to the east when I should be heading west every time. It's really dumb. So now I have like a really damaged Shamel right at the start, which is pretty stupid. Okay, and just before I actually do the stunt jumps, there's one thing I want to do before that, and that's to go get the tow truck from the scrapyard and take that to San Fierro and store it there. And the reason I want that is for something later on. Nothing important for today, but you'll see later on. I'm gonna pull some vehicles with it, as you can imagine. There's a couple things I have planned for it. Alright, and here's tow truck. This took several attempts, so yeah, I got shot at there as the Hydra and I had to bail out, but thankfully, because I landed far enough away from the tow truck, it actually spawned. A few attempts before this, I managed to get the tow truck to spawn, and then a Hydra crashed and blew it up. It was really funny. I didn't keep the video of it, unfortunately. I probably should have. I forgot about it. Whenever I fail a segment, I don't want to keep all these videos on my hard drive, because these are the raw recordings are huge, so I have to keep cleaning it. I need a new hard drive. I need I have the SATA cable slots for my motherboard. I should get an extra hard drive or something, just to dump footage on. Like my computer, I have an SSD with Windows and speedrun games on it, and then I have a hard drive for almost everything else. But I need a hard drive dedicated to raw footage that I keep making. It's one of the limiting factors of that I have on my computer is just the storage space. Alright, anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to drive this to San Fierro and then store the like I said, store the tow truck in the garage. Because the garage, even though I don't own the garage yet in the storyline, the actual like storage capability of the garage is actually still there. So you can just use that. So while I'm driving this tow truck, I guess I should say that I think I'm at 30,000 subscribers on YouTube now. I'm gonna double check live. We're doing it live. How do I even find out? So my channel. Yep, I have 30,096 subscribers. So that's cool. Hooray for arbitrary milestones! Woo! So yeah, thanks for that. I'm going to try and keep this YouTube content consistent. I must say, I enjoy making Twitch content more than this, which is why I'm mainly a streamer. But this is different and fun, and it's something I want to do for ages now. So hopefully, I get this series done. I'm considering maybe slowing it down, like maybe I release one every Sunday or something instead. Maybe when I start missions, when I'm done with the master save or something like that. I don't think I can keep up the 2 episodes a week schedule. It's getting pretty hard to do this. But yeah, I mean, I should be busy. This is like my full-time job, isn't it? So, not YouTube specifically, but yeah. Anyway, so there's the tow truck stored, and I got the NRG from the NRG challenge. Again, I really don't care about how many mission fails I have in my stats, because I'm going to be doing lots of mission fails when I start getting special vehicles and stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. The things I care about in this playthrough are not dying and not getting busted. But yeah, so now I got this NRG, I'm going to drive all the way back to the Badlands and do the 3 stunt jumps down there, I think. I recorded this yesterday, so I can't remember anymore. Oh yeah, and I get a bit stuck here driving along. Do I get stuck in the damn circle thing that's up here like I always do when I take this route? I don't remember. Oh, there's a camera over here. Look at that sick jump. Almost landed on the ledge there. There's a camera. So like, okay, sure, I'll pick it up. I could do with the film, I guess. I need to take more pictures of things. I enjoy that, just taking my time and take pictures of stuff I see. You should use that for like thumbnails and whatnot. I gotta remember to do that. Whoa, that guy almost got me. So yeah, I did get stuck in this damn circle thing, which is really annoying. I don't know why I always do it. I'm always like, oh, I can ramp over that, and then I can't. And I'm like, oh, right. Also, for some reason I decided to turn right here instead of left, which is slower. But whatever. Not a nice tree. Yeah, there's not much to talk about. This is all just travel time. Maybe I should speed this up. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to speed it up until I get to the next stunt jump. Alright, welcome to the beach. So yeah, as you can see, I got stuck on a tree a little bit and had to shoot some cops. This is what makes the 4-star jump so hard, is if you stop moving, there's cops everywhere and you always have to fight them, and the bike is so fragile. Anyway, here's this stunt jump. So this is this stunt jump at the beach. I'm glad this beach has a purpose. It's quite a nice beach. Like, no one's here normally, except that BF injection and a boat. And this stunt jump. So there's that. That was pretty cool. I like that one. It's a bit bumpy around here, so it's kind of hard to drive along it. Makes it a bit challenging, but yeah, it's fairly decent. I mean, you don't jump over anything, but it's a huge, cool-looking ramp, so I'll give it like a 6. Alright, and then I'm driving to the next one. The next one's in the town. What's this place called? Pinewood? No, that's Vinewood I'm thinking about, right? Crap, I can't remember what this place is called. I'm sure the YouTube comments will correct me. Angel Pine. Yeah, there you go, Angel Pine. I know it was Pine something. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, this one I've actually accidentally done a few times in any percent speedruns, which is annoying because it's really slow because of the slow motion. So I know to avoid it now. But it's the little ramp that goes out of this trailer park where you end up after the Los Santos segment. I don't remember if I struggle with it in this recording, but I was struggling with it before. Let's see if I get this. I don't think I am. No, I don't. Alright, I'll speed it up until my successful attempt. This video is going to be long enough as it is, so I think I'm going to speed up a lot of stuff. Alright, there we go, that's good enough. The audio of the siren, slow motion but sped up, and the same pitch was really funny. But yeah, here's the successful jump. You get enough speed, get a good jump on the ramp, go over the building, voila. That was actually a pain in the arse to do. It was a lot harder than I thought it was as well. I've got the slow motion there several times, but I never actually did the jump. So I'll give that one like a 6. You land on a building and stuff. It's okay, I guess. It's okay. I know my ratings don't make any sense. You don't have to point it out to me in the comments every time. But like I said, I don't give this much thought. I'm just making it up. Alright. The next jump is on Mount Chiliad up here. I'm kind of glad I actually figured out where it was by myself fairly quickly. It would have been pretty easy to get like lost here trying to figure out where it was, but I was like, it's not going to be followed on this path anymore, so it must be that way. Even the bit that has no path on the map for some reason. And this is the race. I did the Mount Chiliad races before, right? This is the third race route. There's like a big ramp on it, and I remembered it. Also, this cave is pretty cool. I like this whole area. It's pretty nice. Doesn't get explored or used very often, but it's pretty cool. Got poor NRG going along these dirt hills and stuff. It's so not at home here. Probably would have been better with a Sanchez, but yeah, the NRG is obviously going to be pretty useful in San Fierro, so it's better to keep it here. Alright, and here's the big ramp I was talking about. So yeah, like I said last episode, I don't really know where any of these stunt jumps are. I have like a map that tells me where they are, but I don't know exactly what they are, what they look like, and how to do them and stuff, so I was enjoying figuring all this out myself. Yeah, there's that little one there. I think if I took it faster, it could have been pretty cool, but it was actually kind of lame. So I'll give it like a 4, I guess. But yeah, this is the first recording where I actually started doing stunt jumps, I think. I don't quite remember anymore. Most of the recordings up to this point were me trying to get the tow truck and then driving the NRG. Oh yeah, I make this mistake. Yeah, this is definitely my first recording. So I was like, oh, I could probably jump over to that road from here. And then I get stuck down here, which is pretty funny. And then there's this cop and stuff. And I'm desperately thinking, like, what's the best way to get out of here? So I was thinking, right, I'll just swim along until there's a bit on the left that I can climb up, because, you know, that's where I wanted to go. I didn't want to go to the right. And then I remember, wait, I know there isn't any way you can climb up to the left. It's always just a sheer cliff the whole way along. So I'm like, okay, fine, turn around and I'll take this thing. So then I climb up this thing. And then I see a boat. I'm like, ooh, a boat that spawned there. That's useful. I guess I'll go take that. So you can see I'm like trying to make my mind up on what to do. You can't dawdle. I can't just stand there and figure out which is the best, because then you'll get shot by the cops. You have to keep moving at all times, which I'm pretty good at, seeing as, you know, speed runs and stuff. You do that anyway. I mean, here's the boat. I kind of kill myself a little bit jumping down to it like an idiot. And it turns out this isn't a set spawn at all. It's actually just an NPC who's driving along, spawned on the river, but he got his boat stuck, which is really funny. So now I spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to unstick this boat. Also, I'm using the replay to try and get rid of the helicopter. Yeah, if you ever see me use replays randomly like that, if there's a police chase, it's to try and get rid of the heli. Sometimes watching a replay just makes it fly away. I think it happens here. I shoot it a little bit, and then it like flies further towards the boat, and I'm like, nah, fuck that. And then I'll give up shooting it. Yeah, there you go. And then I revert back to using replays, and then he flies away. Lovely. Alright, anyway, while I push this boat out, I'll speed it up. In fact, I'll speed it up all the way until I reach where I'm going with it as well. There we are, and welcome to the beach, where this BF injection is. And the only reason I knew about this is because in the really, really, really old original any% route that I made, I used to train lung capacity by swimming from Angel Pine to here. And then you get up on this beach and use the BF injection. So right here, the reason I paused and I was driving into the wall and crap was because a cat pushed my controller, which is on the ground, and the cable got stuck on the joystick, and it was like pushing it to the right, and I was really confused for a little bit until I figured that out. But yeah, I fixed that. I have to have a controller plugged in whenever I play this game, otherwise my mouse doesn't work. It's a really annoying problem. I've tried all the the core affinity stuff and whatnot, and none of it really seems to work for me. It's just having a controller plugged in does. Anyway, here's this blood ring banger that I got all the way back in episode 5 or something like that. I'm going to try and use it for the stunt jump. Unfortunately, it's raining, so spoilers, this doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Yeah, so there's this stunt jump here, which you're supposed to jump onto the motorway with, but yeah, the blood ring banger is never going to make that. Yeah, so I think I give this a few attempts, and then I go get the NRG. But while I do that, I think with enough speed ups, there's some stuff I wanted to talk about. So last episode, I accidentally recorded the gameplay at 60 FPS, because I was... the way I record and the way I stream is the same. I use Expert for both. So I was streaming at 60 FPS, because I was playing Ballad of Gay Tony. But for these recordings, I normally revert to 30 FPS instead of 25 or 60 or anything. But at that time, I accidentally forgot to switch back, and it had a weird effect of making it so that all the time lapses, the sped up parts, were really smooth. They were actually 60 FPS, because, the frame rate was sped up. It doesn't matter exactly the technical reason, but it made the time lapses kind of smooth, and it was like, oh, okay, so I guess it doesn't have a negative effect then. So what I've done this time is something a bit different. I've recorded the game at the usual 30 FPS I do, but then I'm also going to encode the video and edit it at 60 FPS. So I've set the sequence settings in Adobe Premiere to 60 FPS, and we'll see if that maintains the smoothness of the time lapse or not. If it doesn't, I guess I could record at 60 FPS. I don't think it makes much difference. I'm using GPU encoding anyway, hardware encoding, so it doesn't really add any CPU load or anything like that. So I guess I could just record it at 60 just to make those sped up bits look nicer. Whatever. Whatever. Anyway, finally abandoned the blood ring banger and went to get the NRG again. Oh no, mission failed. Ah, my statistics. Ah. Alright, and here's this body armor. I'll pick this up. Don't want to die and stuff like that. Probably the biggest threat is actually getting busted. So if CJ's lying on the ground and a police officer runs up towards him, they can bust him if he's stuck on the ground. That's happened to me in most of these recordings. The way they fail is that I'm on the ground and a cop, I crash into a cop car and fall over next to the door, and he gets out and instantly busts me. It was really annoying. So the armor and stuff probably doesn't help that much, but it's still good if I get into a bit of a firefight with people. Anyway, here's this stunt jump. Whee! So yeah, this one's really cool. I like this, jumping from there onto the motorway. Do I go over it, in fact? I don't remember. No, I do land on it. Okay, good. That one's pretty cool. I'll give that a 7. Pretty decent. It'd be nice if it was doable with a blood ring banger, but it may have just been because it was raining and I have 4 stars that I couldn't do it, so I don't know. Alright, and the next few ones are at the airport, so I'm going to go there. Also, that crash there with that police car didn't knock me off the bike. It's funny if I see stuff like that, it looks like I'm cheating, but to me anyway, but it's because I have such high bike skill. I'm so used to having absolutely 0 bike skill when I do speedruns that any touch of the bike onto something and you fall off. But yeah, a little instance like that where I don't fall off is really weird to me. Alright. Oh yeah, and this gate here that just opens because I have flight skill. That gate there, if you walk up to it, you walk up to the gate and then turn around. You can punch it. I like to punch it if you do it. But you walk up to the gate, touch it, and then turn around. The gate opens if you don't have any flight skill. They misaligned the hitboxes that let you out, I think. Also, here's this stunt jump. Pretty decent. Gets a 6. Jump over that little river into this land bit from the airport. You could probably do that with most cars as well. It's a pretty easy stunt jump, and you can have a huge run up. So that'd be pretty fun. I wonder if you could do it in a perennial or something. Speaking of wondering if you can do stunt jumps and things, last episode I asked if you could do the off-the-hill stunt jumps of a lawnmower. Also, here's this stunt jump, pretty cool, gets a 6. I asked last episode if you could do the downhill stunt jumps in a lawnmower, and a lot of people said you couldn't because you couldn't get enough speed to trigger the slow-motion stunt jumpy thing. But then one person, who I've already forgotten the name, no, I noted it down, XL1PEX, put a YouTube comment which got spam filter flagged, so I had to like manually approve it. It was there for like 2 days. They posted a link to their video when they did it. I'll leave a link in the description, but yeah, they did one of the downhill stunt jumps of a lawnmower. I won't spoil how they did it to make sure you actually watch the fucking video, you arseholes. But it's pretty clever how they did it. I was actually pretty impressed. So yeah, good job. You're the only person who actually did it instead of just telling me you couldn't. Alright, now here's this stunt jump. This stunt jump had me really confused. So I'm looking around and I can't see anything that looks like a ramp. The only thing that vaguely looks like it are these things, but you just jump up them and they don't give you any height, you just sort of drive along it. So I'm like looking around, trying to see if I can trigger any slow motion anywhere, trying to figure out what this ramp is. And I can't figure it out, so I had to resort to pausing and looking at a menu to figure it out. So while I drive around aimlessly ramping into things, I'll speed it up until I find what the actual stunt jump is. Yeah, there's the pause, now I'm really confused. Alright, for me, 5 minutes ago Josh lied. Well, not 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I'm not going to speed it up, I'll just cut out the massive pause that I had. That makes more sense than fast forwarding a menu. But here's the stunt jump, it's this little tiny stair. Not the other one, this one. The one on the other side doesn't count, just that one. What the hell? So... yeah, that's a pretty cool stunt jump. I love the camera angle and the fact you go over the motorway and stuff like that. But why is it, like, so unobvious that's that little tiny stairwell thing? Like, what the fuck? But despite that, I'll still give it, like, a 6. It's just such a cool jump. I really like it. It is a cool concept, like, jumping on that little, you know, walkway thing. But just needed to be more obvious that it was a ramp. Right, here's this next one that you do in Yay Kaboom Boom in Intended Strats, where you like drive over this ramp and get this stunt jump. Thankfully the gate and stuff isn't here, so you can do this beforehand without having to find a packer or anything. So on my first try, I like jump over to the left here to just go down the next road, but apparently that doesn't work. I guess there's like a trigger in between those two crates up there that you need to go through, so I guess you have to do it straight on. So I won't bother speeding this up, I'll do this fairly quickly I think. Oh no, I don't get enough speed here, do I? Do I get enough speed? That should count, right? That's good enough, come on. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's funny when you complete a stunt jump like that while falling off. And yeah, here's why I need armor. It's situations like this, it's like, I could get on the bike and just hold down the horn so they don't bust me, but they'll shoot me, and I'm more worried about the bike blowing up and losing a tyre than I am anything else. Like, losing a tyre on a bike is the worst, so yeah, that's what I need to avoid. But thankfully, this next stunt jump is right next to this paint spray anyway, so that's not a problem. But yeah, this next jump is just this little tiny ramp here, pretty obvious. Just jump over the motorway like that. Yay! That one's fine, that one gets a 5. It's fine. Speaking of my rating system, I saw some people in the comments complaining that I never give anything a 10 or a 1, so my resolution on the scale is bad. But it's not. No stunt jump is perfect, so I'm not going to give anything a 10 unless it is perfect. And no stunt jump is like the single worst thing imaginable, so it doesn't get a 1. Like, that's such a fucking gamer thing to say, isn't it? It's like, oh, everything has to get like 60. Well, no, I guess it isn't like that, but it's like everything shouldn't be getting like 90% and 80s and shit like that. I am using the whole spectrum, but there just isn't anything in this game that's either perfect or the worst thing in the world. So yeah. Anyway, here's some body armor here. Well, except there isn't, because it only spawns on that mission Outrider, and I thought it would just spawn there naturally, which is kind of funny. So that was a bit of a waste of time, but yeah, that's probably. This next stunt jump, I'm trying to remember what it is. Is it the one that goes down the wiggly road or whatever it's called, the twisty road. No, this isn't that one. Okay, so this one is the one at the shopping centre. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, you just jump over the shopping centre car park, or the mall's car park, whatever. It's pretty simple. Do I do it this time? How the hell is that enough speed? Do I get it? Wow, okay, that one was not picky at all, Jesus. Okay, and the next one is the one at the house, I think. I'm trying to remember. I think it's the one at the house. Yeah, okay, so this one's an absolute pain in the ass. First of all, finding it was kind of awkward, but I get there eventually. It's just like this little tiny ramp here. It's like, that's a ramp. So it's like, okay, it's just another downhill one that's like slow motion. So I drive over it, and it's like, nope, not good enough. And then this lands next to me, and it's like, alright then. So I have a bit of a firefight here. But yeah, I had a lot of problems with this one. I just couldn't figure out what kind of speed it was you wanted. So I tried to go fast, but it's not the easiest thing to do with 4 stars in there. Yeah, anyway, probably see where I'm going with this. I'm going to speed it up until I figure it out. Woo! Alright, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Just one attempt, but it's still better to speed it up. Also, the helicopters keep spawning under the ground. That's a thing that constantly happens throughout this whole video, is the helicopters are always under the ground. I guess it's all the hills and stuff that I'm driving up to, then jump off of. But for some reason I remember that stunt jump being way more annoying than it was. Maybe I did go here another take or something, but then why didn't I know where it was when I first got here? Anyway, these road blocks that you keep seeing, like this right here, is a big problem, because the guys that spawn there have like micro SMGs, and they can shred your bike and or tires. So unless you have a ton of speed like I did there, it's better to just avoid them. Anyway, here's the twisty path stunt jump that I was talking about earlier. So you got this big stairwell here. There it is, and you got to drive all the way over it. Yeah, in one of my recordings, I actually I did the stunt jump, one of these big stunt jumps, and I went over the top of a helicopter, and it looked really awesome. But unfortunately, I don't think I don't think I kept that recording because it was bad. Alright, so yeah, every time I fall over, I'm like desperately looking around for cops to make sure I'm not about to get busted on the ground. Not that I could do anything about it anyway, because I can't get up any faster, but yeah, let's see, it's another helicopter on the ground. Like, what the hell? Why does that keep happening? It's so funny. Okay, what was this next stunt jump? Oh, god. Wow, he was a bit aggressive. It's unusual for them to actually like just push me off my bike like that. Yeah, I think I have actually a very long firefight here for these firefight standards, because my bike keeps getting pushed and shit. And then, yeah, there we go, finally. There's cops behind me, but yeah, I'm just honking. If you honk, I think I've already said this in the series somewhere, but if you honk, you can't get busted, because the police officers run up to you to try and open your door, but then because you're honking, they like wave their hand in the air and go, hey, what are you doing? Anyway, here's this stunt jump. Did I rate the last stunt jump? I didn't rate the phrase, did I? Crap. Okay, this stunt jump's pretty decent. I think if I jumped a bit further, it would have been cooler, so I'll give that one like a 7. The one of the one on the motorway I did. Then there was the Yaka Boom Boom one. That gets like a 4, 5. It's like you have to do it, and it's kind of crappy anyway. Then it was that little annoying one that I had problems with. That one gets like a 3. It's not even that interesting to do, and it's such a shitty spot as well. And then the twisty path one is really cool. I'll give that a 7. Jumping over that crazy road. If you had enough speed, you'd jump all the way down it as well. Did I jump all the way down it? I don't really remember. Anyway, here's one of your girlfriend's houses, and there's a stunt jump next to it. I don't remember her name. Is it Barbara? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I didn't get enough speed here. You need to actually land down the road. And this one I did have a lot of trouble with. Not because the jump itself was hard, but because traffic and police kept screwing me. So I'm going to speed it up until I get to the successful attempt. Okay, and again, apparently my memory of this is wrong. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. You don't need that much speed here. As you can see, I was like doing a big run up and then I got turned around and crap, so just a little run up will do. There you go. Or in the NRG anyway. If you're in another vehicle, you probably need a bigger one. But yeah, there's that stunt jump. Yeah, this next one is the one where I jumped over the helicopter in one of the recordings, but unfortunately I don't in this one. I don't have a recording of that anymore either. It's a shame. I try to keep some stuff. Whenever something funny happens in a failed segment, I normally post it on Twitter. Like recently in Las Venturas, a helicopter got stuck inside the multi-story car park, and it kept exploding and stuff. It was pretty funny. And as my bike skill keeps upgrading, I've almost got max bike skill at the end of this, which is nice. Yay, here's this. Hooray. So yeah, this one, do I fail it here? I think I was going too far. Yeah, so this one I kept going way too far on. It was really frustrating me. So it takes me a few tries, but I do eventually get it. Am I like... What am I doing? Oh, okay, yeah, so this is this recording. Right, so... I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember. Yeah, so for some reason in my mind, I thought I did that one just then. Like, I just kind of forgot about it or didn't notice that I didn't trigger it or something. It's really weird, so I don't know. But anyway, I'll go back and do that one later, but I did actually miss that stunt jump. Anyway, here's this stunt jump. Let's just drive over that bit of grass. It's pretty simple. Never would have found that without the help of this map. Like, that's absurd. How the hell was I supposed to find that? Yeah, and then there's the 69th stunt jump, the one that you can't complete. That one I was just pointing out on the bridge there. I think I actually decide to go do it now. Do I? Is that this recording? I don't know. Anyway, so here's... I was planning on doing that record... Yeah, okay, so I was planning on doing that stunt jump, the one that you can't complete yet, last. But in the end, I actually just do it in the middle of San Fierro. So what I'm doing now is checking how many stunt jumps I've done. Unfortunately, I scroll the wrong way through the menu like an idiot, because I don't know where it is. This is the first time I've actually checked the stat, which is pretty funny. But unfortunately, this is when I realised that I've missed one. This is 50 out of 70, and now I'm really damn confused. I actually missed 2. I should be on 52 at the moment, according to my route. I'm only on 50. I'm really confused. And for some reason, when I'm looking at the map, there's one stunt jump I haven't even gone to and done yet. And then there's the stunt jump that I failed. So I'm missing 2. So I was really confused. So what I decided to do here... eventually, when this happens, I'll probably speed it up when I'm talking about it. But what I decide to do here is I decide to just go back to Los Santos, save, stop the recording, review the recording, figure out which 2 stunt jumps I missed, and then come back here and do the last 3. So yeah, I decided to be careful, safe rather than sorry, since I didn't want to just hang out here for ages in 4 stars and try and figure out which stunt jump I missed and then die and have to do them all again. So yeah. Anyway, I'm hopefully speeding this all up, and hopefully I'm already on the way back to San Fierro now. Wow, that was convenient. I recorded that audio watching it in real time, live, as I'm like watching myself just on a stat screen, and somehow the audio like lined up with what I was doing when I sped it up. That was kind of weird. Anyway, here's this stunt jump, which I finally did right. That one's pretty cool, I guess. I'll give it like a 6, why not? And then there's this stunt jump here, which is a real pain in the ass to do, because you have to not go too fast to fly over the road, but not too slow that you actually hit the road and don't go past it. But what I do is I actually hit this wall, and it gives it to me. You're supposed to land on that road down there, but somehow that counts. So, whatever, there you go. Alright, that one's really bad. Gets like a 3, just because it's such a pain in the ass to do right. Right, so here's me trying to figure out where the next one is, and it's like, yeah, it's on the scaffolding over there. Do I get up? Yeah, do, wonderful. So yeah, this is obviously, to me, this is like Jizzy's scaffolding, but it has nothing to do with Jizzy's car, that's completely separate. And you have to drive the bike all the way up it. So for some reason I decided to do like lots of point turns here. Like, I'm not counting how many point turns, but being an idiot and driving like this. And I think here I realised, wait, why not I just do a burnout? Do I get it? Yeah, there we go. So it's like, oh, I could just burn out around this corner. Hooray! So then I start doing that instead. Now I understand why the scaffolding is shaped like it is, with all these like extra little bits for the vehicle. What the hell? I don't remember that. That cop car. Yeah, now I know why this scaffolding is shaped like it is. So you got to do all these ones along here. But we've got to do it all with a bike. Makes sense now. And it has this stunt jump. So this stunt jump, there's an invisible wall because I haven't unlocked Las Venturas yet. So it's actually impossible to do this stunt jump. You can get the slow motion for it and unlock it, find it, but you can't do the stunt jump itself. You just hit that wall. So that is why Master Save stunt jumps is 69 out of 70, because you can't complete that one. It's impossible. So the most completion you can do is finding 70, but only completing 69 of them. So there we are. And now I believe I swim all the way over here. That's all the San Fierro and Badlands stunt jumps done now. So I'm gonna swim over here, get a boat, and then go get a dodo and fly back to Los Santos. That wasn't my most gracious return ever. Spent a ton of time swimming, and then for some reason I kept stopping with the dodo and going underwater to try and get it 3 stars instead of 4, so I wouldn't get shot down by hydras. But that didn't work, so I gave up with that, and then just flew back and got shot down by hydras. And then I had to take that taxi. I was very lucky that taxi came along, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to escape the police. But yeah, here we are at last. All San Fierro stunt jumps done, and coming up after this is the Las Venturas stunt jumps, which should have been its own episode, but I'm giving it to you now, you lucky bastards. Okay, so while I make my way over to Las Venturas, I'll probably speed this up in the helicopter. So I'm just going to take my Sea Sparrow and fly over to the PCJ at the abandoned airfield. Unfortunately, there's no set NRG spawn in Las Venturas area, so rather than like try and drive one from Los Santos and do the little jumpy thing and drive it around, I just decided to go take the PCJ instead. Oh, also, before I speed it up, there's this glitch. When I shoot, there's like a flash of light and it lights up that building behind me. What the hell? So weird. Only works when the camera's kind of close, though. How odd. Okay. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to speed up until I get the PCJ. Alright, so here we are at the abandoned airfield as I get shot at by a Hydra. Thankfully I managed to make it. And here's the PCJ set spawn. Woo. So the first few stunt jumps are all out in the desert over here, so I'm going to go do those ones. I actually deviated from the map's air quotes route here, the map's numbering that I was using, and I did one before the other just because it was so more optimal that I had to do it, and I knew where these ones were. As you could probably see from the timestamps on the save files, this took a whole day to do. Like, I did San Fierro in like one day, and then that evening I tried to do this one, and I just could not do Las Venturas. So I had to. This was literally done this morning, like a few hours ago, from me recording this. But yeah, anyway, here's this stunt jump. This one's so cool. So you got this little building here, which is a pretty interesting building, and then you have this massive path like this that leads up to an extremely obvious ramp. So it's like, huh, I wonder what I have to do here. So you drive super fast along this thing, and you go wee all the way over here, Yeah, this one's my favourite stunt jump. This one gets a 9 out of 10. It's not perfect, so it doesn't get a 10. Also, I should note that last episode I said I was struggling to do backflips, and a lot of people told me to not hold W while I was trying to do it. Because like if you're holding W, like accelerating, you can't control vehicles in air when you're accelerating. So I tried that, and I still can't do a backflip. I don't know what's wrong, so whatever. I don't worry, I don't care too much about it. I still get to do cool little showy things a little bit. But yeah, the reason I want to do that stunt jump first out of order is because it kind of leads nicely to this next stunt jump here, which is a polar opposite of the quality of that stunt jump. So you got this little stunt jump on this crappy little house thing here, this dock thing, and you have to go really slowly, slow enough to actually land on this roof, or not quite in this instance, and still trigger the unique stunt, but not so fast that you just fly into the water and get abandoned in the desert with no vehicle. Like, Jesus, that is so dumb. That one gets like a 2. I really dislike that stunt jump. It's a shame because it's in a cool area as well, but the actual mechanics of the jump itself just ruin it. So yeah, somehow I managed to cheese it and trigger it without actually doing what it wanted to do. And then there's this really cool stunt jump over this damn chicken. Look at this crap. Unfortunately, I don't do it very well in this recording. I don't actually go over the chicken, but I still get it. Sort of like ride the chicken a little bit. But yeah, that's so good. I love it. That one gets an 8. It's so good, so good. Such a simple stunt jump, but it's pretty good. Alright, stopping off for a chili dog, getting some health. I'm getting shot at for my trouble. Health is more important than armor here, since you take health damage when you fall off your bike, and I fall off my bike a lot. And more helicopters under the ground. Okay, so this stunt jump's a pain in the ass, because just before it, there's a little jumpy thing on the curb or the hill or whatever, and it always makes me like fly into the air with my bike, and then I can't take the jump properly and hit a ramp and like fall off like that instance there. So yeah, when I was recording this in other times, the first time I tried to do this, it took me like 10 times to get it. It's so dumb, so dumb. There's the underground helicopter. Thankfully, I think I got it on my second attempt here. Yeah, here we go, this is it. So I don't get bounced in a bad way, and I managed to hit that ramp, and it actually triggers. Hooray! So that's that stunt jump. I'll give that one like a 3. It's not as bad as the other one a minute ago, but it's still pretty bad. And hit the wall, of course, and still trigger it. Okay, so here's these lovely chappies, just shooting them in the face, as usual. My aim was a little bit off in this video, it's unfortunate. Except that shot was pretty good. So I decided to get into the thing to get the armor here, and then get out, which was a mistake, because then another truck thing turns up. And I'm just like, oh, he has a shotgun, that's a problem. So now look at this. Look how shit this is. Look, there's a car exploding next to me. I've lost a tire. My bike almost blew up. Yeah, that could have been a reset, but thankfully it wasn't. So I have a quick thinking and just decide to just take the first vehicle I see, which is this one. Thankfully these guys don't blow me up. They get a tire, but police vehicles all seem to do okay with popped tires. I guess that's intentional design, right? So yeah, I'm just going to go get the replacement PCJ, the infinite spawning PCJ at this airfield, which is quite nice. It's really lucky this PCJ spawns even if you don't own the airfield yet. Otherwise this would have been a nightmare. I don't know what or how I would have done this without this PCJ. I just had to rely on finding like good vehicles. Yeah, here's this next stunt jump. It's on this, not on that little house thing. When I first did this one, I thought it was that little house I just drove past, and I was trying it for ages and I couldn't get it to trigger, and I had to look it up, and it turns out it's just this one random airplane wing here. And to make it even worse, it's a pain in the ass to do. Like, why was that not good enough? If you say more speed, you'd be wrong, because I do it a minute later without that much speed. It's so annoying, it's so dumb. And I'm getting harassed by the cops all the time. Oh, this sun jump. Oh, look at that. Oh, awful. Like, half the time I drive over it, it just doesn't give me the slow motion at all, and the other half, it just doesn't work. A tiny percent of the time it does it. So annoying. And it would have been cool if it was at that other house as well, because the other house you could drive down the whole runway and then just turn left a little bit and hit it and get a ton of air. Such a better jump than this. But yeah, this is what they decided to go with, so woohoo. Oh, look at that rock. That rock that just hits me. God damn. We also got a flash of a micro SMG that spawns inside one of those airplane things there, which I didn't actually know was there, so I learned something new. Hooray. Alright, is this it? I didn't speed this up and I'm kind of regretting it. Does this count? No, of course it doesn't, because fuck this jump. God damn it. Maybe I should have sped this one up, I don't know. There's something else I wanted to talk about. I've got some notes. Tried to prepare as much notes as I could for this episode, because I knew I was going to be talking a lot between jumps. Oh yeah, so the last episode I was talking about how if you lean back on the bike and scrape your back of the bike along the ground, it makes you go faster than leaning forwards, but I didn't quite know how to do it. I just know people did do it. A lot of people told me, oh look at that, I just drive over it and nothing happens, like what the fuck. A lot have told me that's called radding, R-A-D-ing. I tried googling it, San Andreas radding, and I couldn't really find anything. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But lots of people told me about it, and someone left me a really big comment explaining it, which is pretty nice. Do I get the stunt jump this time? I went less far than other times, and that time it gives it to me. Like, was it because I was more to the right? I don't know. Whatever. Awful, awful stunt jump. Give that one a 2. It's as bad as the other one that makes you go into the water. Okay, so while I'm working out where I'm going next and travelling there, yeah, so they left me, some people told me about it, but this one person, Amaluna, left me a really big comment explaining it. To explain this a bit more thoroughly, this speed method is called Rad's method. Rad is the user, stunter, that found it. I think he found it, at least. This is a speed method that we stunters use to make stunts easier and gain more speed than you can with speed tapping, which is, I guess, what they call like leaning forwards, like tapping forwards on the bike. The way this is done is by pulling a wheelie until the back of your bike hits the road and you will see sparks. After that, you keep pressing up like speed tapping. This works on all the motorbikes, except for quad bike, Wayfarer, Freeway, Faggio, and Pizza Boy. The reason why this is an unreliable speed method: 1. You're required to have a decent amount of bike skill to prevent falling off every 3 seconds. 2. Street bumps and buggy textures, I mean collision, not textures, can still make you fall off. 3. It doesn't work on every motorbike. 4. Grass and sand surfaces are a pain to navigate whilst radding. And 5. It takes practice to do efficiently. If any other questions, ask them, etc, etc. So yeah, thanks for that. I'll have to try that at some point. Maybe later in the series I can demonstrate it a bit better at some point by driving down a runway with it. But yeah, I always knew this was a thing, but I never used it in speedruns, mostly because in speedruns you're driving around corners a lot. There's rarely do you have a bike going in a straight line. Alright, so that filled the time perfectly for this stunt jump, while we learnt something new. So this stunt jump's pretty cool. You go over the motorway like that. I'll give it like a 6. It's pretty okay. I've given ones I don't like a 6 before, but yeah, again, I'm inconsistent on making this up. Okay, so here is the Emerald Isle car park. The biggest car park in the game, and home to many a stunt jump. So I hope you like me driving up and down the car park, because it's gonna be happening a lot. Woo! I managed to remove 1 trip up the car park by being smart, but yeah, I have to go up here at least 3 times. While I'm travelling up, I'm looking for vehicles. So I have a PCJ right now, but that's not the most ideal vehicle I can find. An FCR would be better than a PCJ. And I'm also looking for rare vehicles that I could just get in and claim that I've driven it. But anyway, here's this stunt jump. So this is the one I'm smart with. So let's just go down here, like that, land on this roof. I think maybe they intend for you to land down there, but I don't. You can land on the roof. That one I failed because I didn't go quite far enough, but this demonstrates how smart I am, see? You don't need to go off the roof, you can just climb back up and save going up all the floors, woo! Yeah, it's not that smart, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, this stunt jump I had to do a second try at. That's how smart I am, I had to do a second try, yeah! In all my other attempts, I didn't have to do a second try here. But for some reason took a second try this time. So yeah, you can see I land a lot further and then it actually triggers, and I just managed to not fall off, which is good and saves us driving up again. Woohoo! And then climb back over this. There you are. Just hook your front wheel on there. So yeah, I'm switching PCJ a lot here because I want a maximum health PCJ at all times. So even though that one was probably damaged only a little tiny bit, it's better to just switch anyway. And keep looking for vehicles. And up and up and up we go. Woo! So I don't remember what vehicles I find in this recording. Oh, there you go. There's a slam van. Yay! So now we can say I've driven a slam van. Did I really drive a slam van? I don't remember. Like I said last episode, I kind of forgot to keep track of all the vehicles I've been driving, so I'll probably need to do that again. I guess I'll start with this episode. I'll say that I drove a PCJ and a slam van and the other vehicles I did.
You're a dickhead!
Alright, so that's the slam van. Woo! There's a few other rare vehicles. I think I'd find some, I'm not certain. Alright, we're almost at the top. The rest of the times I climb the building, I'll speed it up because it's pretty boring. And then there's that cop that just spawns there for some reason. It's weird. Alright, so here's the next stunt jump. This ramp here from almost the top floor. There's another slam van there. But you just drive off this and woo! Look at that. One of these stunt jumps has to be the thumbnail. That's so cool. I think it's one of the later ones it is, but yeah. And then we land just shy of that building there and we get the unique stunt bonus. So that one's pretty good. Did I rate the last one? I'll rate the last one a 5, it's okay. That one's pretty cool, that one gets like a 7. All of these stunt jumps off of this building are pretty nice. The only downside is having to climb it, which is why they don't get higher. Alright, well, I'll save you the repetitiveness and I'll... Oh, there's a rare vehicle, there you go. What's this called? What is it, fuck? Hustler, that's it. I knew it was something like that. Alright. Yeah, anyway, I'll spare you the repetitiveness of driving up the thing again, and I'll speed up now. Oh, damn, that makes a cool noise. Someone remix that. No. Alright, so yeah, here's this driving up here, and then there's that ramp over there I've got to get to, so just drive off and drive over this ramp. So this is pretty cool, I really like this. That makes such a good thumbnail, right? I'm trying to like shoot the gun and stuff, make an impressive thumbnail. Eh, maybe. It might be the next jump that's the thumbnail. So yeah, that's that one. You land in this little tiny gap there, which is really cool. So that one gets an 8, I really like it. You'd think all these ramps get proximity penalty, but just jumping off this thing doesn't get old, so... Alright, so I found some seagulls, and I found this FCR, which is pretty good. But yeah, otherwise nothing that interesting happens, so I still think it's better to just speed it up. Alright, and here's the next ramp. It's kind of identical to the last one, but I still think it's cool enough to get like an 8. So, this is the thumbnail. Yeah, there you go. That must be the thumbnail, right? Maybe it isn't. Maybe the thumbnail is something completely different, and I'm wrong, but yeah, there you go. So that's that stunt jump done. All the ones done in the big car park. Woo! Alright, and the next one's just down the road, thankfully. So yeah, driving around Las Venturas for 4 stars is a little bit easier than driving around San Fierro with 4 stars, but still not easy, so it's just a good thing I have a bike. Oh, a bribe star, excellent! Oh, never mind. Yeah, that stunt jump's okay, just jumping over the strip like that, it gets like a 5, it's okay. And the next one's over here. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, just the last few stunt jumps in Las Venturas. None of them are too noteworthy except the second to last one, I think. Yeah. Yeah, nothing's too noteworthy. These are all kind of average. There's the V-Rock Hotel, though. I'll have to explore that later. It's pretty cool. Okay, so this stunt jump here, you have to jump onto the motorway, and it takes a bit of a run-up, so I'm like, get my run-up. There you go. Get these people out of my way. Good, didn't hit any of them, and then we just jump onto the motorway. I think you're supposed to jump onto the other side of the motorway. Maybe just landing on the motorway itself is good enough, but yeah, I get the stunt bonus, the unique stunt jump, so that's that done. And the next one is over there. Yeah, at this point I had done all these ones before, like in several takes, so I kind of knew where they all were, roughly, so we don't get to experience me wandering around driving up things that aren't actually stunt jumps. There were a couple I got confused with, but yeah, that doesn't happen. You don't lose too much, it's just me jumping over a ramp going, oh, and then turning around and going back there and trying to find the actual stunt jump ramp. Yeah, this is just me getting lost around Las Venturas. Just navigating Las Venturas is such a pain in the ass compared to Los Santos or San Fierro. It's just such a pleasure to drive around San Fierro. Just lovely straight lines, one big curve that goes around the whole thing. It's great. Here obviously I'm getting a bit screwed by the police, but just shooting them. Yeah, la-di-da, whatever. The bike, I made sure to stand away from the bike when I'm shooting people, so the bike doesn't get shot at, so the bike's perfectly fine. But I decided to go to this paint spray here anyway, just for safety. I've been doing this so many takes of this, I was kind of sick of it. So later on the bike can take a lot of damage, so I made sure, absolutely sure, that it had full health at all times. Also, this is one of those weird FCRs that doesn't have any of the engine cover stuff. There's 3 types of FCR. There's one with like the full engine cover, one with a half engine cover, which I've only ever seen a few times. I saw it once in one of these takes. It's really rare, I think. And then there's this one with like no engine cover at all. Okay, so here's this stunt jump. Do I get enough speed for it? Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, okay, so just land on the motorway again. Kind of land on top of that car and bounce over the barrier a bit, which is pretty cool. And then the next one's left, Josh, left. There you go. There we go. This one. There we go. Got it. Yeah, the next one's just another one. Nothing to write home about. That one's just average as well. It just gets like a 5. There's nothing interesting about it at all. Nothing overly negative. Nothing overly positive. So just 5. Alright, driving along the baseball stadium. How long was this video? Let's see. I'll probably speed up a few more times. Oh, it's about an hour probably. Yeah, this is pretty long. Maybe Las Venturas couldn't have been a whole episode by itself, but I could have definitely split these 2 up, and it probably would have been a good idea for my workflow. Spent a lot of time on this one. I'm not doing as much research on these as I should be doing, because before I was doing tons of research and I only spent a little bit of time recording, but now it's like more record time, less research. But I guess there wasn't too much to research about this. Anyway, I failed that stunt jump. You're supposed to land on the roof, but we get a nice little parade of police officers running into the wall for us, so it was kind of worth it. That's how funny that is. And here, I finally figure out the difference between a BF and an FCR. The BF has those little circles, and the FCR doesn't. That's how you can tell the difference between them. Hooray! The little circles in the engine is what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm trying to think what other things I can talk about. So some people ask me, why do I always speed things up instead of doing like jump cuts? Because jump cuts are a lot cleaner, they look a lot nicer, and they're also a lot easier to do. But I prefer to speed things up in this series because I want to show everything, right? I want to show absolutely everything, the whole process of playing this game fully. That's what I want to show off. And here we go. This time I went way too fast and I hit this thing in front of me, but thankfully I still get the bonus. So funny when that happens. Alright, the next one... Okay, yeah, so these next 2 are a real pain in the arse. So, well, one of them is anyway. So yeah, the next one's the one at the big pyramid thing. There's one where you head north, I think. You jump north onto a building for a bribe star. That one was easy. But the other one where you head east is really difficult, and I was struggling a lot to get it, and it was what was killing a lot of my segments, recordings, just trying to do that. Oh, and here I respray again. This is when I get the disgusting grey silver colour thing. Look at that. Horrible. I should have sprayed it again to get a better colour. Never mind. But yeah, this stunt jump was really pain in the arse. Thankfully I managed to get it fairly quickly on this recording, but I was struggling for a really long time to get it. I was trying different cars I found on the road. I was trying different bikes. I was considering just getting an NRG just for this one jump. It was absurd. So I believe I give the jump one try here. So this is how much of a run-up you need. It's not even on the map yet, and I'm trying to give a run-up for it. So you've got to drive all the way along here. Avoid this pole in front of you. You can barely see that was on the left of me just there. Don't flip out there. Keep going forwards. And then somehow get enough speed from this to land all the way on that roof there. Like, look how much small speed I needed. Like, god damn. So yeah, you can see I'm wiggling my camera around. I'm frustrated at this one jump. Thinking maybe I need to use a car with higher acceleration or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's just one of the stunt jumps here. There's actually two on that one corner. So I give up with that one and I just don't get screwed by that cop. And just turn around and do this one. This one's way easier. You can make it just in this little downwards bit. There you go. Through, bribe star, bink, and then instantly 4 stars again. But yeah, there's just that one. And you can see the unused paint and spray behind me just then. I'll explore stuff like that later. But yeah, so that stunt jump is pretty easy, but this one's a pain in the ass. So I decided to get the biggest run up I possibly could. I drive all the way up here. I could have driven up that escalator maybe. I like that escalator, it was pretty cool. I've had some fun there when I was playing casually. Yeah, just try to have the biggest run up I possibly could. Don't get screwed by that. Keep leaning forwards. Don't get hit by that cop. And then somehow I get enough forwards momentum and I actually make it going through that sun. Maybe that should be the thumbnail. No, I did that last episode. Don't do that again. So hooray! I finally did that stunt jump. Now there's only one left and then we can go home. And I can save and then immediately edit and record what I'm talking about now. Yeah, so this was only like I said, like an hour or two ago now. I managed to actually finish this on time. If I didn't finish this morning, I was just going to make this episode San Fierro and make the next one Las Venturas with some other stuff. But yeah, lucky for you, I managed to finish it. There you go. So yeah, just drive down the motorway. So yeah, okay, so the heading north stunt jump gets like a 5. It's kind of average. And then the heading east stunt jump actually gets a 6. I like difficulty. Difficulty is interesting and challenging. I hate it. I hate that stunt jump, but it doesn't mean it's a bad stunt jump. I like it, so I'll give it a 6 at least. I think I've missed some stunt jumps in this video. People always tell me in comments which stunt jumps I missed, so I'm sure I'll rate them, I guess. Okay, and here's this stunt jump, just another dull jump onto the motorway stunt jump. It's another 5, whatever, it's fine. And we're done! Have a look at the stats. Scroll the right way this time. Get to see all these distances that I've travelled. Isn't that interesting? By the way, if you want to see any of these stats, like I say every time, I always upload them so you can view them. And there you go, 69 out of 70 done. I've talked a bit late, but you can see it. So I found 70 of them and completed 69, because you can't complete the 17th one until you've done more. And here's how we're going to get back. We're going to drive along this little tiny wall bit here, and we're going to take the FCR all the way back. Unfortunately, I fall off here, but I get it the second time. But yeah, if you want to see any of my stats, they're all uploaded, because this game has stat exporting, so you just press S in the stat screen, and it makes a HTML file, which you can upload to the internet, and you can view it. So you can see all of my wonderful stats. Which remind me, I actually forgot to press S on the stat screen today, and back up my save files, so I'll do that after this video. If the timestamp for the stats is ever different from the save files, it's because I forgot to make the stats file, so I'm not cheating or anything. But yeah, here we go. So, funnily enough, doing this slowly is actually worse, because then you turn more, and I only want to turn a little bit. So it was probably better to go faster along here, which I finally do here, I think. Yeah, there we go. Just go as fast as possible. And there we are, back into Red County. Hooray! You have escaped Las Venturas with the bike. So now I'm just going to go save. Thankfully here I lose one of the stars and go to 3 stars, which makes this a whole lot easier because now I don't have SWAT after me. And that's it. That's the end of this episode. I go save and we're done with stunt jumps. Hooray. So yeah, stunt jumps were pretty fun. I enjoyed this quite a lot, just driving around jumping off things. It was one of the more fun things so far. And my bike skill's almost full as well, so yeah. next episode, I don't know. Like I said, the planning and research phase is taking a bit of a dive because I have to spend more and more time recording. So I might start. I always say stuff like this, but I might start making these episodes a bit shorter so I have more time to research and do interesting things like I originally was doing at the start, instead of just doing everything normally. But yeah. Anyway, that's that episode done. Hopefully see you guys Sunday. I'm actually going to be away this weekend, so I'm going to have to try and get an episode done before then and schedule it for upload for Sunday. So if there is no episode Sunday, don't freak the fuck out. I'm not dead. Okay? Alright, so see you either Sunday or Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.